Hey, and welcome to Toria Talk Tuesday. So, if you have been following my videos or you follow me on social media, then you would have noticed I did not post a video last week. Now, if you just follow me on YouTube, you would not know the reason why, but if you follow me on social media, then you saw a list came out of reasons why the week before when I would have done my Toria Talk was rough, like really, really rough. And I didn't do the Toria Talk out of like, oh, I don't want to show them that. I don't want to tell them. Like, I'm gonna give you the whole lowdown on what all went down that week. It was more out of I do these Toria talks because I hope to impart something on you guys. I hope to give something, whether it's encouragement or maybe you learn something new or it helps you in your life. Whatever it is, they're supposed to be life-giving, or you're supposed to get something out of it. And when I got to do I decided to record my Toria talk that week, I didn't have anything to give. I didn't have any extra, and I even tried recording my Toria talk now that these are pre-recorded, but I it was pointless, and I didn't want to waste your guys' time. That's not what this is about, so I didn't post it. Now, if you saw my social media post, so what was rough about that week? Okay, where do I even begin? So let's start with probably the biggest thing. We had an ER trip in my family. Never fun, always stressful for whatever reason it may be. So that ER trip, everyone's okay. No one died. No one is dying. Well, we're all dying, but no one is actively dying. So my mother has a heart condition. She was diagnosed with a heart condition a long time ago, and she went into the doctor for just a couple different symptoms, trying to figure out like, oh, what's wrong? What do we do? Where do we go from here? And they ran an EKG. Just everything pointed to like we need to run an EKG. Ran an EKG, and it was really off. And the doctor even said, it looks like you've had a heart attack. You need to go into the ER. Now, that same day, we had a going away party for one of our friends who's going to med school, and it happened like that. Like, no one had gotten to say bye to her, none of this. And my mom even asked, like, hey, can we go eat dinner first? Like, not if you want to make it through your dinner. Okay, so we instantly went to the ER. And as we were there and as they ran tests and stuff like that, they found out that, okay, your heart is okay. Your heart is fine. And so she was released. So all is okay. Though that being there, and we were there for hours, like waiting for test results and stuff like that, it's stressful. It's really, really stressful. Even when you know, like, okay, God's got it, it's in God's hands, it's still kind of this, fearfulness, and especially since she has a heart condition and EKG being wrong was like, oh my gosh, like, what's gonna happen? So she's good. We're back home. It's all good. We were released that same night. However, also on my post, I had said lack of sleep for most of the week. One of those reasons was the ER visit. I don't think we got home till like 2 or 3, something like that. It was crazy. And so then you don't get a lot of sleep when you go home at that time. So then you're just ran down and you're groggy and, all this stuff. And another reason that I probably didn't get a lot of sleep, also my post, I said I had multiple breakdowns, and yes, multiple, that's plural, breakdowns, not breakdown. So that also led to like just being exhausted and not getting a lot of sleep, as just between an active mind, and sometimes those breakdowns were at night, so getting to bed later is hard. Let's see, what else did I post? Oh, a broken favorite mug. Like, already this crazy stressful week, and normally it's like, oh, whatever, like it's a mug, it's fine, it doesn't matter. Yeah, on top of this week, I was like, I am the worst human being on the face of the planet. Like, that's where my mind went, because this is the second favorite mug I've broken. So I broke my mom's favorite mug like way back, and then I just broke my dad's favorite mug. Go Tori. Great things, right? So that was like on top of it. My dad's like, it's really not a big deal. I'd rather it be a mug than one of my children again. I was like, good point. I can't really argue with that. So that just added to the like, really? Like another thing. I also said I had a hived out brother that week, not the one who's in an accident. Actually, the middle of us. Like had hives, and he had been dealing with them, and then we thought we had gotten figured it out and gotten it fixed, and then they came back, and it was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? We got those fixed too. It's all good now. Still a little, things are kind of settling down. At least it's not as bad as that and as rough as that week was. So I had mentioned the breakdowns, which most of you know that is from my broken heart. My fiance broke off the engagement. So that happened a while ago. And with any breakup whatsoever, or with when someone walks out of your life for whatever the reason may be, and this could be a friend, could be a parent, whatever it is, you face this feeling of rejection because they walked out of your life for whatever reason. It could be an honorable reason, it could be a noble reason, it could be, for some people, it's a terrible reason. Whatever it is, you face this rejection of the person walking away, and that hurts. That rejection hurts. And unfortunately, last week, that sense and feeling of rejection and the miss and the loss and the hurt of this relationship, the rejection part has led my mind to have these two polar opposite things working in it. And you're like, okay, well, if they're opposites, how are they living in the same space? I want to know the same thing. But I have this part of me with the rejection says I was too much to handle. I was too much to take. Maybe I was too needy. I was too this, too that, too much. I was just too much. That's where your mind goes with rejection. I was too much for that person, whoever the person may be for, in your life. But for me at this moment in time, it was my now ex-fiance. I was like, I must have been too much. Whether that's the reason or not, that's where your mind goes. And then my mind on the flip side, flip switch, here's the other one. I'm not enough. I wasn't enough for them to stay. I couldn't, I didn't love enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't this. I wasn't this. And that happens with, really, I kind of want to argue any rejection. One of these two thoughts, maybe you only have one or the other based off of how your relationship was with this person. But for me, unfortunately, I, battle so many insecurities in my mind that I have these two polar opposite things that I am battling out in my mind, that I am too much and I am not enough. And it's weird that these two things can live in the same headspace. And I am working against it and battling against it the best way I know how. But what's sad is some people, when you face these mentalities, you don't have anything to keep you tethered. You don't have truth to anchor yourself to. But throughout this experience, I've been able to just anchor myself and tether myself to what God says about me, what the Bible says about me. And that is that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So no matter what any human being, male or female, may say or may think about me, it doesn't matter, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God. And the beauty in that is rejection from someone doesn't have to destroy who you are as a person. Now, it is hard, and I am battling insecurity on a daily basis, and I'm not saying I've arrived, but the way that I battle it is I may say, okay, that person thought I was too much or not enough, or whatever happened with that person that led to rejection, but I have a God who will never reject me, and I have a God who loves me so much he sacrificed his own son to have a relationship with me. That is where I can get my identity from. That is where I can get my sound mindness from. And so I encourage you to do the same. If you've been rejected by someone, parent, friend, sibling, significant other, take your identity, take your confidence from the Lord, from the God who loves you, the God who knit you together in your mother's womb, the God who says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I encourage you, keep that in mind. That's how I've been battling my insecurities. It's like, oh, well, I'm not enough. Well, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. So apparently to God, I am enough. So that's what I want to leave you guys with as you battle out. If you're facing rejection, as you battle out, I'm too much or I'm not enough, whichever of those, or both of those, for some of us who are special like that, you know what? it doesn't matter what that person thinks. Just look to God for it. And it's easier said than done. I will say that. It's not like, oh yeah, this is easy. It's a once and done thing. We good. Like, no, it's unfortunately a daily battle of saying, I'm not going to believe this lie that I'm too much or not enough. I'm going to believe the truth of what God says about the matter. So a reminder, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Cling to that and hold to that, guys. That's all I have for you guys today this week. I will catch you guys next week. I hope you have an awesome week. Thank you so much for watching.